This is Miss Andrea. This is my third video today because I thought I would try and stay on schedule. So this video will be made live on Monday for my curriculum reviews. This isn't exactly a curriculum review, but it's definitely about curriculum. I just got to the point, and if you see my last video, you know that I'm just kind of done with people asking for easy curriculums and then homeschoolers not giving them the information that they want. So the point is that people want curriculums that they can do for 3 months to a school year, whether 3 months or whether the whole year, to get them through COVID and then put the kids back in school. And homeschool curriculums per se aren't written that way. They're more written on a theme and not kind of based on the way that public school curriculums are set, certain goals for each year, situated this way, kind of Common Core-ish. It's just not that way now. By the time a homeschooler is done, they've hit all those things, but they tend to go about it in a more organic way. So if you want to homeschool, but you still want to be able to slide back into public school, you really need something more regimented. Okay, there's things out there, but you also need something easy that you can do, and you've never not only homeschooled, you may have never taught in a class, and you probably never even considered homeschooling. I got you. So this is for first grade. No, this is for kindergarten through sixth grade. I found a workbook company called Shell, Shell, Shell Education. They have a series of workbooks called 180 Days of whatever subject, whatever grade. So 180 days of math, first grade. And it basically gives you a worksheet a day for each subject. I personally have not used these in my homeschool, but I've used similar things. This is newish. And I have thoroughly examined them online. I took maybe 3 or 4 hours. And I feel that for parents who are temporarily homeschooling, that these will help you keep your kids on track. I personally would get all the workbooks for each grade. There's usually like the 3 or 4 core, and then there's supplemental. Unless the child is taking an outside class in a subject, like I teach history, so I would recommend these books to my history students and say, but you don't need history because, we're doing history. For younger children, maybe from pre-K to grade 3, I would just have them work through the workbooks. You would look over their shoulder, coach them, because it's not going to take that long. Each workbook page is going to take 15 to 20 minutes. Y'all are going to be done in no time. And for that reason, I would assign extra reading materials to get them to read for pleasure. If you've watched my videos, you know that I always try to pair up the books that children read, the novels that children read, with whatever the subject matter is they're studying. And so I would probably choose the science or social studies book, the topics for that week, and help them pick books to read from that so that it is reinforcing what they learned and making it more in-depth and rich. As the children mature, and as the subject matter gets more challenging for even the parents, because we know like 4th grade math ain't what it used to be, right? So I would use YouTube, YouTube Kids, YouTube, and Khan Academy. And there are other math online options for kids. I know parents want to do it all by notebook, but once you hit a certain age, you have to do the math online. It's just the way it's animated, it's done scientifically. It just makes more sense. It goes in the head better. So once they hit that grade, I would use like YouTube and Khan Academy to find videos that go with the worksheets. And what I would do is every weekend I would look at the worksheets they were going to do that week, and I would go on YouTube and Khan Academy and make a playlist for each worksheet they're doing that day. I'd find videos that correlated to those worksheets and say, okay, here's your playlist for the day. Watch a video, do the worksheet that goes with it. And that way they're getting instruction and then they're working it out on the worksheets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a little slideshow of what's in these workbooks and how they work. So this is basically what the workbooks look like. They are by Shell Education, Shell Education. Different authors are on each book. They are 180 days of whatever subject for whatever grade. As you see here, 180 days of social studies for the 6th grade. It is a no-brainer, especially in the younger grades. Any parent can work through this with their kids. And as they get older, like I said, you can start supplementing. So each workbook in the front tells you how to use that particular book. There are going to be different kinds of instructions for different grade levels. There's also going to be different kinds of instructions for each subject matter. You're going to treat math differently than you treat spelling and or social studies and or geography. In the science, you might need to gather some materials. So you might want to go ahead and work a week ahead. Look through the book and see what materials you're going to need for the next week. But it is all going to be right there in the book, how to use the book and what you need to get through the book. In this particular book, it's showing you how to grade for this subject. I believe this is math. And each page has grading instructions also, but it shows you how to compile it. Every book has an answer key in the back of the book. So you don't have to do the work yourself on a calculator. You can check your child's work with the answer key. That way you can make sure that you're instructing the child correctly as well. Each book has one or more standard correlations pages. So you can look online and see what the standard correlations are for your county for the grade. And since we are kind of on Common Core as a country, it should automatically match up to these workbooks. And so here's some samples of the type of work. This is your typical math page. You have your questions there. In the margin, you get to write, yes or no, whether they got it right or not. And then you can transfer that back to the score page. This is a lower grade, maybe 3rd or 4th. And you can see as a parent, you can work through that. What I like about the history and science is it is a lot of reading comprehension, which you need to go ahead and get the children working on early anyway, and that's going to help them in high school standardized tests, that they're used to these kinds of read a passage, answer the questions type of things. I would supplement these with videos whenever I could. Here's the language arts page. It's about animal facts, but it's a language arts page, and it shows you how to brainstorm your writing. You know, and there are different writing exercises on each page to get the children used to the different ways you can form a paragraph, form a story, form an essay. Okay, now that said, what I went ahead and did is down below in the comments, you're going to see that I've compiled the workbooks for each and every single grade and given you the links to it. Now, if you click the links on my page, I might get a few cents. I spent 4 hours on this. Do me the favor. If not, you have the information and you know how to use Amazon. You can find it. But let's see. For kindergarten, there's a 3-book set. The set of three books for kids ages 4 to 6. And then for first grade, there's just 4 books: reading, math, social studies, science. And then when we get to second grade, it gets bigger. There's a spelling and a language book. Then there's a math and a problem solving book. And then there's social studies and a geography book. And then there's a science book. And then it kind of goes like that all the way through. I mean, you don't need 8 workbooks, but it's going to go fast. And why not use those extra workbooks to reinforce what they're learning? And, you know, as they get older, whenever you can supplement with a video or, you know, books to read and stuff, that would work really well. So I really hope that you found this helpful. I worked really hard on it, and I'm really sure that this is going to be the very, 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 very easiest, the very easiest way to homeschool during the pandemic. You know, you just get your workbooks for the grade, you put them in your little box. Every week you go, every day you know, you hit the next worksheet for each book, and you just do the work. As they're younger, you do it together. As they get more independent, they'll come to you when they need help, and or you can supplement with some video work as they get older to get them learning more independently, which if they just come out of public school, they're used to that anyway. I hope I helped. Know this: kids hide workbooks. Don't care how great the workbooks are. Kids hide workbooks. So when they're done with the workbooks, confiscate them and put them away each night. That's why a lot of homeschoolers end up doing online curriculum, because you cannot hide the internet. You know, when it comes time to do your work tomorrow, they can't say, well, I lost spelling. Like, you just log in. So if you want to do this workbook approach, know that kids are wily and they like to hide things. Okay? After we get to the 6th grade level, I feel like a child should have the maturity to use the online resources. But in the meanwhile, I am looking over what's available for middle school and high school, at least in some subjects. And I'm waiting for a book in the mail right now to review. And so you'll get that in the next 2 weeks. I have another online one that I'm working on for you that I use for college prep to get my kids into college. So that's all. I truly hope this was helpful. Go to the comments. It's all laid out, what you need for each grade. You just got to click the little links. And then when you get to Amazon, explore and see what else is there. But if you want the simplest, and everyone in my mom's homeschool group was coming in there saying, hey, we've decided that we're not doing school at home, we're not doing public school, we're going to homeschool, please tell me the easiest way to do this. This is the easiest way to do this. You get a stack of workbooks, and from each workbook, you do 1 page a day. Boom. The end. Till next time.